right, it's Thursday. Actually, it's really Tuesday. You can tell by my first day of school shirt, but I'm making Thursday's video. So this is your first day being at home for the Group B kids and the third day of school, and I want to just kind of review some things we've already talked about. So we've been talking about how to do this factor label method for converting. So I just made up something. So let's say you go to market and there's these weird prices. We're doing this bartering system. So you can trade 3 corn for 7 beans, 5 squash for 8 peas, 2 beans for 3 squash, 6 peas for 10 cucumbers. Okay, and so I find out that when I go home from market, I need to come up with cucumbers. That's all I want is cucumbers. And I am bringing 9 corn to market. So how many cucumbers can I anticipate bringing home if I'm bringing 9 corn? That would be nice if I just looked at my ratios and there was a corn to cucumbers, but there isn't. Hence, we'll be doing the factor label method. And the whole reason I'm showing you this is so that you can figure out how do I know which one to put on top for the working with quantities and rates worksheet, things like that. So I start with 9 corn. I don't want to end with corn. I want to end with cucumbers, so corn needs to go away. So when I set up my first ratio that I'm going to multiply by, I've got 3 corn and 7 beans. I need to put the 7 beans in the numerator and the 3 corn in the denominator. See, this is a ratio. By saying this equals this, that's the ratio of those things. And so it's 7 to 3, 7 beans to 3 corn. I can pick which one I want up top. I want the corn in the bottom so that the corn will cancel with the corn. Otherwise, you're going to get corn squared, which what the heck is that? So I put the corn in the bottom. All right, my next thing I need to do is get beans to go bye-bye. All right, I've already used this one. The only other one with beans is 2 beans is 3 squash. So I need to do 3 squash upstairs and 2 beans down here. That way my beans cancel. Now it'd be nice if squash would cancel. Okay, well I got 5 squash to 8 peas. So I'm going to put 8 peas up here. The 5 squash go down here. Right? That's so that squash cancels with squash. Right? And then finally, I'm going to use my 6 peas is 10 cucumbers. So peas is downstairs. So 10 cukes over 6 peas. Right? Hopefully you can still see that over there. So now I've got all the ratios set up right, and every unit has canceled except for cucumbers, which is what I wanted. So now I just get to do the math. So really you could do 9 times 7 thirds times 3 halves times 8 fifths and times 10 sixths if you want to. And that's totally fine. Or you can do like 9 times 7 is 63. And then that times 3 is like 189. And then that times 8 is something that I need a calculator for. $189 times 8 is 1512. And then if you times that by 10, which is our final one, we have a numerator of 15,120. And then the denominator, I bet you I can do this in my head. 3 times 2 is 6, times 5 is 30, times 6 is 180. So 15,120 over 180 is 84 cucumbers. So all we brought was 9 corn to the market, and we got to go home with 84 cucumbers because no one wants cucumbers. Okay. All right, now you don't have to do a problem like that. You just have to do like one conversion. But this really helps you see, okay, if I have beans upstairs here, they got to be downstairs there to get them to go away. All right, this is the factor label method. Okay, last thing for today is more review of the metric converting because we're going to be using metric units a lot in this class. And the metric units are kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, milli. Right, how do I have that memorized? Well, I have this fun little mnemonic device, which is a device for remembering things, which is kick, her, duck, under, daddy's, cement, mixer. That's such a weird saying, but for some reason people do remember kick, her, duck, under, daddy's, cement mixer. I think it's just as easy to just remember kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, milli, but kick is for kilo, her is for hecto, duck is for deca, that's the first D. Under is the unit, daddy's is deci, cementis is centa, and mixer is milli. So I don't know if that saying will help you. Usually students will remember this. For some reason, I'll have them as seniors and they'll say, oh, I still remember kicker, duck, under, daddy, cement mixer for some reason. So you need this order. Okay, another thing that you need is to remember that kilo, hecto, deca are capitals. When you're putting the prefix in front, sometimes we'll shorten it up by just saying km for kilometers. It's a capital K. But if we do cm for centimeters, that's a lowercase c. So everything to the right of the base unit is lowercase. That's how I keep straight whether I'm talking about deca or deci. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to figure out where we're starting. So maybe the question will be like, how many millimeters is 35.6 hectometers? Right? How many millimeters is that? Well, I'm starting with hectometers, starting right here at 35.6. And then I'm going to count how many places I intend to move to get to what I want, which is millimeters. The thing I don't know. Well, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I didn't count hecto where I started. I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves to finish at milli. Right? And then the direction. That's why I had to write it like kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, milli, because the direction matters. I'm moving to the right. So my decimal now needs to move 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So there's 1. Now I got 356 instead of 35.6. Okay, now I'm out of numbers. What am I going to do? I can add zeros, right? So if I add a 0, there's 2 places to the right. If I add a 0, now I've moved it 3 places to the right. Add a 0, 4 places. Add a 0, there's 5 places. So the decimal just moved 5 to the right, and the answer is 3,560,000 millimeters. 3,560,000 millimeters. Okay, we can convert the other direction too. And we don't have to be in meters. We can use any of the base units. We can use liters, grams, meters. So let's do like milliliters. And I want to have a lot of them. I feel like I spelled that wrong. Milliliters. There we go. So let's have 18,256.3 milliliters. And I want to go to decaliters. Okay? How many decaliters is 18,256.3 milliliters? Right? Well, again, we're just going to count our moves. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this time to the left. Okay, so then my decimal's got to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. 1.82563. So the numbers don't change, just the decimal place moves. And that is deca, see the capital D, liters. Okay, those are the same. Those are the same thing. Right, so why are we just moving the decimal? Because all metric units, all these prefixes are powers of 10 off of each other. Okay, you're never going to find a conversion like there's 12 of this in this, or there's 5,280 of this. It's always 10 or 100 or 1,000. So you can just move the decimal, because moving the decimal multiplies by 10 or divides by 10, right? So that's converting in the metric system. That will help you a lot with tomorrow's worksheet, which you can work ahead to if you want to. This is the factor label method, which will help you with today's worksheet. And we'll check your packets when you come back on Monday. So good luck.